Elvis Calvin Owusu, who will be speaking with us, and Joyce Ahiadorme as well. My panelists, you're all welcome once again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For Odelia has 20 years. For the past 20 years, she's created value in the communication, media, and marketing space. She's worked with a lot of corporate bodies, interviewed presidents. She's done a whole lot. And so she has a lot of experience in networking as well. Joyce is okay. Can we please see you? Can we please see our panelists?
We're right here.
Hi, Joyce. I can see Joyce. But I can't see Elvis.
Hi.
Can you see me?
Oh,
I saw
no,
Elvis briefly. He ran away.
I can't see Elvis.
Hello. My camera is actually on. Please, I'm using the JP gun. I'm having
okay
with my. Yeah, that's Elvis.
Okay. Hi, Odelia.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Joyce.
Hi, Odelia. I love your wig.
Thank you.
And Happy New Year.
And same to you too.
Okay, wonderful.
We also have Joyce here with us. This is for those who don't know Joyce. Joyce is an experienced public affairs and communications professional. She has lots and lots and lots of experience working with a lot of corporate bodies and brands as well. And she's an enthusiastic champion for the environment, women and children empowerment activities. And she's has experience in government engagements, PR, and marketing campaigns. So today she'll be telling us how we can market ourselves and everything when we are networking. She has an ultimate goal to inspire her peers and colleagues with an attitude of grace, innovation, and positivity and agility. And then our least but not last panelist, who is Elvis. Elvis is a chartered accountant and a teacher and still continues learning. He prefers to be called a continuous learner than to have his professional titles. He currently works with JP Trustees Limited, and he's a part-time tutor of income taxation at EM Tax Training School. Elvis believes mentorship should be approached with intentionality and integrated into our social life instead. So having all these three experienced panelists with us, I would like to ask, what is professional networking? I'll start with you, Joyce. What's professional networking?
All right. Hi, Eunice. Thank you very much. It's such a pleasure to be here. And I think that for the new year, great as we enter the new year, we all have goals that we want to achieve. But as you right said, we cannot do them. There's a reason why God didn't just create one person on earth, but then He created several people. Now, a professional network is just basically people you have around you who support you in achieving your goals. They necessarily must not be in your organization, and they can be everywhere. They can be both online, offline, or just people within your surrounding. However, because of the word professional, then it means that these are people who are helping you in your professional life. And remember, your professional life is just one aspect of your life, because if you look at the wheel of life, you have your social life, you have your spiritual life, you have your family life. So who are those people who are helping you, right, in your professional life? I want to use an example which we all know, which is the spider. You know that the spider can create a web, isn't it? Which is so interconnected. And sometimes they are just small lines to your eye, but you know they can create a whole lot just using that small detailed lines. They can, one, trap you, they can trap animals, they can even create a safe space for you. We have seen movies where a cobweb, because of a cobweb closing a hole, people would think that, oh, this place had not been entered for a while. And so whoever is hiding within that hole can safely be there because of the network that has been created by the spider. So if you want to look at your network, you can simply look at the spider. You can even look at the human body, how it is connected, the heart connected, and then the arteries, the blood cells, and it tells you that you can't do everything on your own. You need capable people around you who will be a support system to you. Thank you, Eunice.
Okay. Thank you, Joyce. Hi, Odelia.
Hi.
Your take on what a professional network is.
Yeah, so I like Joyce's definitions and interesting perspectives. I'd like to continue from my experiences as a journalist. For these kinds of networks, you on a continuous basis have to service them. You on a continuous basis have to always be giving. A lot of times when people come to connect with you either on digital media or even personally, what they begin to think of first is, what can I get? So these kinds of networks are things that you can give, for me, things you can give first. Now, so as a young person, you're asking yourself, what can I do for the CEO of Barclays Bank if I meet him? Now, you know that for the CEO space, their needs are absolutely different from entry-level workers or middle-level managers. So depending on who you are meeting, you're asking yourself, what can I offer? Now, there's nobody on this earth who will say that they don't want a gift. Yesterday, somebody came to give me a hamper, and I was super excited. Not because I couldn't afford the things in the hamper, but I was excited that somebody was thinking about me and somebody has bought me a gift. And so, for it doesn't matter which level whoever is, in order to maintain networks and in order for you to, even on a consistent basis, get those people to think about you, to want to offer something for you, you always have to think about, what can I give to this person to remain on a continuous basis on their minds. So it's not first thinking about, oh, I'm looking for a job. And so I feel that if I go on LinkedIn and I find all the CEOs, I can just send them a request for a job. In the first place, you need to find out, what do these people do? How can you offer a service based on that kind of offer? In the long run, whatever your interests are, you can fit them into it. As old as we currently are, and I'm sure Joyce, I'm sure everybody who is working middle level manager or CEO will say that on a continuous basis, we are also trying to increase our networks to be able to reach more people with business. And for me, it is not always about give me, it is always about, what can I do for you to make life comfortable?
Okay.
So
All right.
first, you always have to think about the people's pain points. If you have not been able to solve my pain points, you are really not my friend. And it's friendship. And if your friend, if you have an ordinary friend who on a consistent basis came to you and all they think about is, oh, what can I get from this person? Very soon, if you call this, I'll pick up the call. And it works the same in a professional system.
All right. Thank you very much, Odelia. Elvis, your take on what a professional network is? Hello, Elvis. Hello, Elvis. Okay, I think Elvis is having some small challenges.
Hello, please can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay.
Yes.
So I will. Hello, are you getting a feedback?
Yes, we were.
I'm sorry, I'm having challenges. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So I know we'll be delving deeper into professional networking, but what I want to put across is that we all have to come to understanding that we humans, we are wired to interact with everybody, right? That you come in contact with. No one is a lone striker, right? No one is an island, as my co-panelist rightly said. So it's those little relationships we have with people that you'll be able to you'll be able to just pick your phone and call on issues that will be of interest to the two of you. So I see professional networking more as a kind of relationships, the little relationship we have with people. You say, I see you, the network, the community that you see yourself in, that you can be able to reach out to easily. That's how I approach my professional networking. That would be my take on that.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So I'd like to ask Joyce, why must one build a professional network?
Joyce, you're muted.
Hello, Joyce, you're muted. Can you please unmute yourself?
Yes. I'm still getting into the break mode, is it? All right. So I'll give three reasons. I'll give three reasons why we should network, and I'll call them the 3 E's so that it is easier for us to understand. So one is experience, one is for exposure, and one for example. So I will talk about experience. Now, you need people who have trailed the place, who can help you, who have experience. And I know that the best way to learn really is by your own experience. But sometimes you really don't need to fail at something. If somebody already had failed and they have an experience and they can share with you so that you can grow a step further, right? So you need to grow your professional, or you need a professional network so that you can gain from others' experience. You need to repeat some of the mistakes that have already been done, right? And then the next one is exposure. So you need exposure. So for younger people who are coming, there are things that you haven't experienced yet, you haven't seen yet, you have not done yet, but people have done it. They have been exposed to so many things. And I'm even talking about traveling. I'm talking about tools, I'm talking about trends, I'm talking about people they have even been exposed to. So for instance, like me, I have been exposed to a lot of media people. Odelia had been in the media for a long time. She's been exposed. You can just connect with her, and if she's your connection already, you can tell her, I need that, I need this. So can you help me? Can you create even that exposure for me that when you have an event, you would invite me to the event and I'm supposed to network, right? So that's the other E. Then the last one that I'll talk about is example. You need
Hello,
I
Joyce.
can hear you.
Hello, Joyce. If you can kindly reposition yourself, your network is a bit bad. Hello, Joyce. Hi, Odelia. As we're waiting for Joyce to reposition herself, can you also tell us why the need to network? Why is it important to network?
Well, I believe that networks are a bloodline for every person's growth in anything that you're doing. So, for example, if you are in an institution, you need a solid network. Everybody needs somebody in the boardroom to speak for them. So, networks should not just be limited to what you gain from outside. You need to build networks in every institution that you are in. You need to have good relationships with your boss so that just in case there's an opportunity, you actually are the kind of person your boss would want to recommend for a job. So you need a solid network within your own institution for diverse opportunities and for diverse reasons. I remember when I used to work with TV3, one day there was an opportunity for somebody to start hosting a program within the news bulletin. I had built a strong network with my boss, and I was the first on her mind. Now, her activities in the company, she felt that it would be great to start off with a more senior person in the hierarchy to give the opportunity to her first. And if she didn't grab the opportunity, then she would automatically give it to me. So you need to have a good network with your own boss, internal boss. You need to have a solid network with the people who are even on the board. You need to know some of the board members. You need to know because if there's any, for example, general manager position or positions that are like on the top hierarchy that requires people within the board space to make decisions for you. There you are. You already have somebody, you have a sponsor within the space to speak for you anytime there's an opportunity. Apart from that, networks outside your business are also very important. They are important, one, for marketing purposes. If your business or whatever you are doing is marketing related, that even becomes like more important for you to be able to get business, because if somebody knows you, they would reach out to you first. People always want to be comfortable with people or give opportunities to people they are comfortable with getting a business. And so you need those kinds of networks to be able to connect with various businesses or various opportunities. Now, you also need those kinds of networks just in case you are thinking of moving on from one space to the other. Now, if you have a solid network, anytime there are opportunities, you are the ones that people are thinking about that, hey, I think that there's this opportunity here. Why don't you grab it? Now, your networks will have to be very strategic. And that's what Joy spoke about at the very beginning. She talked about building your networks around even your goals. Now, for you, if this year one of your key goals is to change jobs, or one of your key goals is to meet certain people, now then you need to be able to gravitate towards the space that those people are. Now, if you do not have those kinds of networks, how do you move? How do you decide to jump? Or if you do not know anybody, how do you then decide to improve upon whatever things that you are doing? So it's critical. For me, it's a bloodline to everything. It is a lifeline to everything. You cannot do anything within your organization or outside the organization without people. And these people will have to be, they have to surround your goals for the year and of course your future goals. So for example, I currently run my media organization as a private person. I want to be able to get a lot of contacts within different countries. When I go online, even the kinds of communication that you put on your LinkedIn page, for example, will begin to introduce you to some networks that ideally are the networks you're looking for. So, for example, if you take a look at your LinkedIn page and you look at your posts and you take a look at your analytics, you notice that in the analytics, you want to find out who has come to take a look at my post. If you check out who has been following your post or who has been reading your post, and you see that, okay, these are the people who have read my posts are mainly entry-level people, but that is not my target for the year 2023. You need to then begin to check out the kind of posts you have made for that period of time and quickly switch your posts to target the people you want to be able to reach for the year. So these are my thoughts to give other people the opportunity to also speak.
All right. Thank you very much, Odelia. Elvis, your take on why one must build a network for growth? Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So this is what I'll say. In fact, there are a lot of benefits one derive from networking with other people. But I must underscore that networking shouldn't be approached with a mindset of what's only in for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is in for what is in for this community that what's in for everybody in the community that I'm joining, right? The benefit of networking has both short-term, mid-term, and long-term benefits. So I said that is the little relationship you build. So what are some of the things that are in for us or whoever wants to effectively network? One is that uh, you know, everybody has to be endorsed by someone, right? I read a post lately that said that even the president, when he wanted to be a president, someone has to be his or her referee, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the easiest one to mention is that one, you are looking for a job, you need some recommendations from someone, right? There should be that person who should be able to speak about the skills you have, your integrity, the values that you possess, be able to convince another person that, oh, this person is worth taking on for this job, right? So that's one. Then I can also talk about, I must also say that networking is not just in person. It can be online. I just heard my panelists saying, those watching your LinkedIn post or your social media post. Yeah, one thing that can be taken advantage of is allowing those in your network, or especially those of high repute that you have in your network, to endorse the skills that you have, right? So imagine you have a CEO of an organization that is well known, endorsing your skill on a LinkedIn, right? That this person is skilled at this, is skilled at that. It adds some kind of credibility to the skills that you have listed as your skill. So that's another benefit we derive when you approach networking with intentionality. Then who knows? Some of these network are potential clients for you. Imagine you're a business owner. As I said, we have to approach networking with a mindset of building a community that you can share. How do you call it? You can help each other. You can grow that pie. It shouldn't be a mindset of what is always in for me. So these people in your network can be your potential customers, can be your potential client, depending on the kind of service that you are having. And if you don't own a business, these people in this network can provide employment opportunities to you. I read a study somewhere that says that a high percentage of job opportunities are through recommendations. That's, I think someone rightly said, right? I must share personally, the current job I'm doing is not because I tendered an application to a job I saw online, right? It was through someone who I have in my network who spoke. They needed someone to fill a particular position. Then he reached out to me that this is what their organization need. Am I interested? I didn't stress myself that I would have done if it was a normal online application. So having this kind of people in your network is offers a lot of employment opportunities that you can take advantage of. That is why it's very critical to let known your skills and your interests to people that you have in your network. If you don't speak about the things that you can do, if you don't speak about the things that you have, the skills that you can offer to people, those in your network won't be able to, because the person reached out to me because he knew that now this, when I speak to Elvis will be the best person to be able to do this. So that's another benefit we can derive from we can derive from networking. Then next, you know, I heard mentorship being mentioned. It's true. You know, everybody, I believe in mentorship, right? And mentorship is both ways. There's a concept we call reverse mentorship. We get mentorship from those who are even below us, right? There are some things in this age and at work. There are people above me when it comes to maybe some digital skills that they are not savvy with. They come down and I help them with, right? That's reverse mentorship. Then those above you, this career path that you are taking, is there anybody who has done and tried and faced those challenges and that they can guide you on, right? So if you have all these people in your network, those kind of small relationships, you will be able to reach out to these people to guide you. There are days I want to make a decision on even to change my life, what I'm just doing now. I just pick the phone, call this person. This is the decision I want to take. What do you think about it? What advice do you have for me? What are the things I have to look for? What are
Hello, Elvis. Hello, Elvis. Oh, wow. It seems Elvis network is also giving him challenges. I'd like to encourage our audience to also type in their questions in the inbox so that we can discuss them as we go along. Okay. So wow, I've learned so much from in this few minutes that we started. I learned that networking is like a spider web where each string is interconnected, also just like the human body, needing all parts to come together to work effectively. In networking, we shouldn't only think about what we can always get, but we should also look at what we can also give. What can you give or offer whoever is in your network? I've also learned that for networking, there's so many reasons why we network, but then we network for experience, for exposure, and example. Sometimes we may not have an experience in a particular area, but because of the people we network with, because of our conversations with them, we learn from them as well. It also gives us opportunities as well. And I've just learned that we should also network internally for growth within our organizations so we can grow within our organizations as well. Networking also gives us opportunities and serves marketing purposes as well. It allows us to sell our brands and our products as well because we come across potential clients whilst we network. Sometimes networking can also give us a job. That's what Elvis just mentioned to us, that he got his job because he had network and whoever referred him knew what he had to offer. So we are all encouraged to sell our skills and our abilities out there and what we can offer as well. Once you have a solid network, opportunities are open for you. Joyce, when must one start networking? When should we start networking?
All right. Thank you. And I hope that my network will stay on. All right. So just as you do not find, you do not start looking for a healthy body when you're sick, you have to start networking even before you need it. So you know, like usually you are not supposed to start cooking the food when you are hungry, but you should know that I've eaten in the morning, and so by afternoon I would be hungry. So for anyone else, you will have to start thinking of, okay, where do I get the food? What kind of food will I want to eat? So that by the time it is 2 o'clock, when you have to eat, you already have the food prepared and it is ready. In the same way for networking, we must start networking even before we need it. So for those of us who are starting our career now, even in school, right? You know where you're going, you know what you want to do, you know your career goals, you know the steps that you want to take. And I'm not saying you get to see every step of the way, but at least you know where you're going. Right now, you must start building your network. So you start building your network right when you begin to know where you want to go. It is not when you need me that you're now scrambling and looking for my number. First of all, it will take a lot of time to build that relationship. It will take a lot of trust. And there's something called the trust equation. For those of us who want to be interested, we will look at, you can take your time and find it, what the trust equation is. Before you build that trust, and I would trust you and be able to help you, I would need to have known you for some time. So you start network every opportunity is a time for you to start networking. Don't say, "Oh, I'm now in school." Once you and I think that even you know whether we like it or not, deliberately and how we always say it, if you're not taking a decision, you are taking a decision. So even when you think that you are not deliberately networking, there's still some people around you. Firstly, are they the right people that you want around you? If right now, right, I'm here and there's a crisis and I need to solve it, and it's a media crisis, do I have already the number of a journalist in City FM, in Joy FM, in Adom FM that I can already call, or it is now that I'm coming to build a relationship? By the time I'm ready to build a relationship, the media had already got hold of what is happening, the crisis, and it has already passed. And now it will take me a longer time to fix it. So every opportunity is an opportunity, right, to network. And every opportunity, like right now, is a time to start building your network. Have you heard about the six degrees um 6 degrees of separation, which says that you are 6 steps away from getting to know somebody, or you are 6 people away from getting to know somebody. And when you do that, you begin to realize that if you need somebody, you just need to speak or do about 6 things, and quickly you will get to know, or you'll get to have whoever you need to know. So every step of the way, you must start building your network right now.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Joyce. Would
Welcome.
Odelia or Elvis like to add anything on when should one start networking?
Yes. Hello. Now, can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Elvis. We can
Yes.
hear you.
Sorry, I have been having challenges with my internet. Yes.
Mhm.
So as she said, networking as as early as you gain consciousness as a human being, or you get to know, you get to hear of the word networking, right? I wish it is even time we start discussing some of these issues at primary level, senior high level, for
Mhm.
people to be aware. It sometimes gets late for most people to understand why we need to network, right? So as early as possible, it's not too late. If it's now that you are seeing that is really an important thing to do, and something you have to approach with intentionality, right? It's quite difficult. There are some people who have challenge and say, I am an introvert, so I don't like talking to people. I don't like, no, but uh, as I said, see it as what kind of community do I want to build around myself, that we have shared interest, that I can be of value to, and they can also be on value to me. So as soon as if today is the first day you are hearing that it's important to keep net, it should start from now. Even on this call that we are on, who
Yeah.
and who, even if it's not in person, is there a way I can connect with these people virtually? Can I get their handles? We take it from there. Who knows? There's something that can be of shared by, there's something I do even at my workplace and my wherever I find myself. When I meet people, I kind of I talk to them. And surprising, there's a small study I'm doing myself. Almost always, anybody I speak to, there is something that I've known in common with a person, or there's someone we have known in common, or there's a place we have maybe a hometown, a place we've been to. Like, so if you have those conversations with people, right? The next time something comes up that the mind is such that some of those things are encoded, even though it may not play for you to hear. But as soon as something comes up, it plays back to you to reconnect. So my answer will be that as soon as you gain consciousness that you need to interact with people, right? You have to start from there, and start from now if you are on this call.
All right, thank you. Odelia, would you like to add anything?
Yes. I'd like to say that I'm sure there are people who are on the call, either myself, yourself, and everybody on the call now. I think that networking should not just even be limited to us as grown-ups who are doing business. We should begin to network even for our children, and we should begin to network also for our children at various levels. So, for example, if you are looking at your children entering a certain space, once you identify that this child has these tendencies, begin to introduce them to the community where their abilities will begin to play out almost immediately, so that these young people can develop their interests along those lines, and even find out exactly who they can connect with when they are ready. So, for example, remember that when we were young, we were all introduced to excursions, and we will go to various companies and be introduced to various technologies in the companies and processes and production. It wasn't just for the fun of it. It was so that we sort of begin to think and reorient our minds towards developing business-wise. But the only thing that we probably don't do is begin to help our children to also network. If you take a look at the Indian community, the Lebanese community, as young as their children are in school, they begin to introduce them to the business community. They begin to orient them to start to think about ownership of the business and how they can drive the business. And so if the person belongs to the AGI, immediately if he's not going for the AGI meeting, that's the Association of Ghanaian Industries meeting, he sends his son, who probably is in the university first year or second year. The guy doesn't have a clue about what happens at the AGI, but he's there preparing himself, networking, so that if the business is handed over to him, he is mentally ready, and he also has the kind of networks to be able to do that. And so it's important that we as parents would even begin to identify exactly what are the strengths or the interest areas of our children and begin to introduce them to those communities. I introduced, for example, my daughter who's 4 years, I introduced her to robotics at 4 at the Accra Digital Center. It was made up of all grown-up people that she perhaps will be seen as a baby to almost everybody there. But that's a network she has built. Now, when she's 10, 12, 15, she already has a network. Or if she mentions that I used to come for robotics in this place, she already can connect with a certain group of people. So I'll say that the networks for us as parents should not just be left for us. We should try and see how we can connect, identify what the interest areas of our children are, and begin to connect them to those opportunities right away. Hello.
Hi, all right. Thank you very much. I'd like to encourage our audience to also submit their questions in the chat box so that our panelists can speak to them. I'll take a question from Jemima. Jemima says, we all have different personalities, which affects our ability to network. How can we break this barrier in order to have a good networking skills? How can we break this barrier in order to have good networking skills? Joyce, would you like to take that?
Yes.
Yes.
So first of all, I'll say that do not put yourself in a box. And I think usually we are fond of doing that. I'm an introvert, so I cannot network. I'm too shy. I'm not fashionable, so I cannot talk to people who are very fashionable. I think once and it's about your mindset. So we called something the fixed mindset and then the growth mindset. The fixed mindset just says, I am this. So that is it. So I am bad at mathematics, so I can't be an accountant. I'm bad at mathematics, so I can't be a CEO. And then a growth mindset would say, I'm bad at math, but I'm learning. I'm bad at math, but I will do more of the learning. So really, yes, you have different personality, but that doesn't mean you right. Why don't you try getting out of your box, and the box that is inside your head, because it's just a mental block that you have inside of you. Now let's look at steps. How can you do this? One, what are your interests? Really, you're a shy person, but what are your interests? Do you like writing?
Mm,
Right? And
mm,
you see, in writing, there's nobody around you. So of course you can't say that you're an introvert. So even it affects how you write. But then if that's your interest of writing, who are other writers, right? Who have similar interest of the area that you write in. So let's say you write about nature. Who are those people who are around who write around nature that you can connect with, right? Then in that case, there are a lot of volunteering opportunities. And I must say that as a youth, one of the ways by which you can really build your network is by volunteering. Give up your time. Like what we are doing here today, none of us is being paid here, but we are volunteering. And I tell you, I do not know Elvis, but in the next minute when I'm somewhere and Elvis meets me, he will say, Hi, I was on a panel with you. And that is me using what I have, my volunteering time to get connected. Volunteer, not just not just online, but go out there, put yourself out there. There are things you're passionate about. Your church is organizing something. Go. Then there are seminars. My God, there are so many free seminars that are organized every day in this country. Go there. And you don't necessarily have to talk to anyone if you go there. Go there and I tell you, you can ask a certain question that is mind-boggling, and that becomes you putting yourself out there. And you don't necessarily have to be an extrovert or an introvert to have a laudable idea. There are so many things we can do. Then training sessions. We attend training sessions that has people from different organizations, right? And really, like Elvis said, you could be talking about a place of interest that you had both visited. And Odelia said, it could be around your children that you have kids and you're all talking about your children, the schools they attended. And even some would say, oh, I took her to a robotics class. And that becomes a place of interest. So first of all, I must say that do not put yourself in a box and say that I am this, so I can't do that. Have a growth mindset and then
mm.
put yourself out there. Get out of your comfort zone. You need to network. You can't be everything and you can't do everything by yourself. You need experience, you need examples, you need the exposure. So get yourself out of your shells and go out there. Volunteer more. Know your interest areas and get to know people who are within those areas and put yourself out there. And who knows, you'll meet the next Bill Gates because you have networked.
Yeah. Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you.
Odelia,
You're welcome.
we all have different personalities, which affects our ability to build our network. How can we break this barrier in networking?
I believe that I will add up to what Joyce indicated. You definitely have, everybody has some network one way or the other. If you don't go to church, you go to the mosque, or you are a Hindu, or you are a traditionalist. I don't know which one people belong to, but everybody is connected one way or the other to a network. You may have gone to school where you have classmates and you are in your association, you have an association page that you belong to, or your year group page that you belong to. One of the key ways to network is, for example, network from your most comfortable space. So from your church. So if you have some great people within your church space that you are comfortable with, you can start from that space. From your association page, you can also start from there. I remember Joyce spoke about something relating to your 6 steps away from the key people that you perhaps want to meet. Now, so even within the your network of classmates, somebody's father may be in a position where you would want to be able to connect with. Now, it will be easier for your classmates to give you his father's contact than if you had met me for the first time for me to give you the contact of the president. And so everybody is already within a network they can build upon, which is a comfortable space, which they don't really need to crack their brains too much for. So I'll say that those can actually be some of your starting points to doing this. If you are already working also, you can also use your colleagues as your networking point. You're looking for this somewhere, your colleagues can easily connect you. Well, I used to work as a journalist. If you're looking for the Minister of Trade's number, and even if you were an introvert, you just have to put it on the page, our team page, and somebody will just throw in the number from there, and you can WhatsApp the person, you can send the person a text message. We also spoke about the fact that if you go for conferences, you notice that maybe there's somebody within the conference that you'd like to speak with. You are shy, but in the attendance book, the person may have written their name. You can follow up from the people who are actually at the attendance desk. Get the person's contact from there, and you can send the person a message. People easily identify with people who have attended conferences or programs like this call that we have, and they would gravitate towards you. Send them a message, say hi, I was at this event with you. Well, you can easily say that, look, I was very shy and that's why I couldn't reach out to you physically, but this means it's quite a comfortable way for me to connect with you. I really liked the points you made during the event as a guest. I would like to learn from you some more. So always, like I said from the very beginning, always try to, the people that you want to network, say something nice about them, try and address some of their points. And based on that, the door will open for you. If they were great speakers, if they made a point, if they have written a book you like, take a line from the book or a statement they made, make notes and pick one statement they made, send them a message to say, look, this statement you made was such a great blessing to me. I've learned a lot. And you build your networks from there. So it doesn't have to be in such an organized way that, so if you're not able to do the formal ways of networking, then it means you're missing out. I think everybody has one network or another that can start from.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Elvis, your take on personalities and networking. How do we break the barrier?
Yes, thank you, Eunice. I want to put it this way. It's understandable that we all have our own personalities. Some want to be reserved, others want to be outspoken, right? But we have to understand. We have to realize that the networking that we are talking about is a skill which can be learned, right? I'm not sure if there's someone on this call when we say master your maybe your communication or master your public speaking. Even if you are introvert, you'll be trying hard to learn it because you know it is important. Even though I'm an introvert, it's something that I need to learn for maybe the role that I've gotten. Maybe it's a job that you've gotten and you are introvert, but you need to learn it. So first of all, let's realize that the networking is a skill that we have to approach with that kind of mindset, right? And scale that skill. Then I also say that in this networking game, always remember that it's the people, it's not the people you know, but the people who know you, right? Let them know your ideas, right? The values and your experiences. So see, and also as you are having a challenge of maybe connecting with people, also try and find build a network that you want to build a network that you want to have at your disposal, right? People, so that you'll be able to have people with like-mindedness and rich perspective, so that at any point in time you will be able to reach out to them. So it's true, we may have challenge reaching out to people, but understand that it's a skill that I have to learn. Even though it is it's a challenge to me, letting that challenge be defined is what my earlier colleague said, that it's a fixed mindset, right? Realize that your personality is barring you from connecting with people, but it is a skill that I have to learn. So how do I balance? How do I approach it? So that will be my response to that.
Okay. All right. Wow. I've just learned that we should network as early as possible. If there's anyone on this webinar today who hasn't started networking, this is the right time or the right opportunity to start networking. It's not too late. We should also start networking by encouraging our children as well, or putting down activities for them. I like, I'm just taking a few tips from what our panelists said. In terms of where we can network, both our three panelists have mentioned that we can network. Joyce mentioned church and conferences, same for Odelia as well. Where else can we network? Where else can we network? And how do we find these networking events? Joyce. Hello, Joyce. Hi, Odelia. Would you like to take that for us? Where else can we network apart from church and conferences and our workplaces? Where else can we network?
I observe that if you're started working, or even if you're started studying, one of the key places you can actually network is trade associations. So you can decide to join trade associations and then network from there. You can also decide to join chambers. So for example, the American Business Chamber, the Canadian Business Chamber, depends on all of your interests and of course the goals that you have set for yourself. Find associations that connect with your goals and connect with your targets for the year, and just join those associations, because they are one of the great places you can also network. Look, one of the places you can also network that can be a bit difficult, but you can go to are 5-star, 4-star hotels. Gather boldness, sit at the lobby, and it will surprise you that you will meet some very good crowd that you can connect and network with. Some time back, myself and my friend, we sat at Golden Tulip. Then the Japan ambassador to Ghana was there, and the person came to our table, came to connect with us, and that's how a new friendship was built. So a lot of us are not very bold to go to certain spaces and connect with people there. But if you have that sort of boldness to be able to go to certain places, you find a lot of decision makers seated that you can connect with.
All right, thank you. Elvis, would you want to add on?
Yes. So I want to say, I think I've mentioned it before, but I want to say that you have to, we network both in person and online, right? In a digital age. So make use of your social media. Let me give you an example. Just last week, there's someone I connected with on LinkedIn, right? He works with MTN. There's a project that I'm working on currently on fintech, right? And I decided I had to develop something for and present. I because I connected with him, we said hello, Sadiq. We chat. Then it occurred to me I'm supposed to develop something for the startup, and I had to speak to someone. I have to get exposure to someone who works in that industry, right, to be able to share his experience or whatever he knows. And it came handy for me, right? It's not someone I know I've seen in person, but someone I just connected with and it was nice to online. So networking happens in person, and how do you call it? It should also happen online. Then I also want to say that there's this tool that I use that I want to share with those online that uh, first of all, this is the next time I'm saying this, approach it with some kind of intentionality. So there's a tool we call mapping your network, right? So at the end of I think I'll share a link of a Google Sheet. I have this playbook that I try to map my existing and potential network. There's in that sheet you realize that I have name of the person, who they are to me, what kind of how do you call it, connection do I have with them? What level of connection do I have? How can they help me? How can I help them? Right? How do I reach out to them? Is it call? Is it a text message? Like how often do I? So I have that in that playbook, right? So I've been able to map out and know those who are within my inner circle and those who are outside my inner circle. Right? So at any point in time, I'm able to know this person is as I think I've seen a comment someone saying that there are some people you cannot easily reach out to. Let me give you an example. I didn't get opportunity to speak to any of the partners of the big four auditing firms we have in Ghana, right? But was it 2 years ago that I decided to join a professional network that in fact, I'm a chartered accountant. Within the chartered accountancy, we have district societies that you can belong to. So I decided to sign on to one. And trust me, when we go for those meetings, I had them at my disposal. I was able to speak to them, get closer to them. That I wouldn't have gotten that opportunity if I hadn't belonged to that network. So there are at every place that there's one or more people. We say in church that everywhere there's one or two people, God is present. So any place that you see two or more people, there's an opportunity to what to network. So I have some kind of questions to ask them. So my fellow online people, is if you pick your phone right now, how if you go to your workplace, your church, or maybe your classmate, do you have almost all the contacts of those people? Do you have it? People do you have their contact numbers, right, at your workplace, your professional work? Do you have an idea as to the kind of skills that they have, right? Are you conscious about that? So just there was this tip I heard many years ago. There was this tip I heard many years ago from this EDC man. What's his name? This investment man, personal finance tip. If someone can remind me of the name, he did
Is it
mention that
Paul?
Yes, yeah, I remember those times when I was in my undergrad. I had a program at Legon Precinct. He says that he made a personal pledge within a certain years that he should have more than 2,000 contacts on his mobile phone. 2,000 contacts. There are some people at workplace, they say, oh, so see, at workplace, if there's anybody at all, right, that they are looking for his contact and they don't find, they come to me. And this is what I do. When I meet you once, twice, I have your contact on my phone. I once, twice, I have your contact on my phone. So at any point in time, wherever I find myself, wherever I speak to, I have a way of having their contact. I have an idea as to even which area they stay, right? Which area, when I'm at work and I need something delivered to my location, I need just to call someone in my area. Please, are you at home? I need this delivered before I come back. Are you available to pick it for me? Yes, but there are some people, as they said, you don't have that kind of connection with them. You don't have even their contact. You don't have them. But if you are intentional about some of this, it makes life easy, right? It makes life easy for you. That's what that would be my take on that.
All right, thank you. Philippa just posted a question, and in a way, I relate to it. She says that at times you reach out to some people, and frankly, they are not willing to build a network with you. So, how do you handle something like that? For example, a CEO and say an entry level worker. How do you network with the CEO? Sometimes it almost seems as if there's nothing you can really offer the person. Sometimes you want to network, but you don't want it to seem like you're pestering the people either. And you feel like the person is so high up there and probably you are here. How do you network with such people? How do we network with such people, Joyce?
Right. Okay, so Eunice, I want to ask you, do you know me? Like, besides today, do you know me?
No, I don't.
Okay, all right. How do you walk up to me and say, hello, can I invite you for a lunch tomorrow? Is that possible? Do you think that will happen actually?
No, not really. But
Exactly.
if yeah, not
Mm-hmm.
really. Let's say
Uh-huh.
if let's say I was a shy
Uh-huh.
person. We mentioned earlier
Uh-huh.
about
Mm-hmm.
not limiting yourself or putting yourself in a box.
Good.
If I put myself in
Good.
a box and I see Joyce sitting somewhere, I'd feel probably I've read about Joyce
Yes.
and I know all this about Joyce, but I'd feel too small or scared to approach
Uh-huh.
Joyce and try Joyce out on a lunch.
Uh-huh.
But if I want to break
Okay.
out of my box, go beyond my box and be
Mm-hmm.
bold, like Odelia said, like
Mm-hmm.
Elvis said, bold to
Mm-hmm.
connect with people, then I'd be able to walk up to Joyce and say, hello, Joyce. I
Uh-huh.
just want to invite you to
Uh-huh.
lunch and just take a few minutes of your time or just have a chat with you.
Okay. But do you think that the first thing you should ask me for is to take me out for lunch?
No.
Good. So all I'm trying to say here is that it's a strategy. Is a strategy and the approach. You cannot, and thank you very much. You just played on perfectly as if we rehearsed this. So you see, you can't not just walk up to a CEO and just ask them that I want to be your friend. Have you, and Elvis mentioned something, we must be intentional and about everything. I have worked with now before, and now will tell you. So you would see me and people say, oh, you're all over the place. There's so much intentionality behind it. Even when I used to do a lot of government engagement, there are dresses that I wear when I'm going to for a government engagement. When we have a customer complaint, right, and the customer is very cantankerous, there are particular dresses that I wear, and it's very intentional, right? Because I am doing this with a strategy behind, with what I'm seeking for. You do not just walk up to a CEO as an entry level person and then start pestering them. One, do you follow them on LinkedIn? When they share something, do you like it? Do you comment about it? Do you repost? When something happens in their company, is there something that links you? Because in as much as usually we want to throw or point fingers at others, we will have to also do an introspection. How would you feel really as a CEO if someone who just comes from university says, hello, I want to be your friend, and just take your number? You must start to build a relationship, which is why the question you asked about when do we build or when do we start building our networking is now. You do not just walk up to them. You start to build your credibility, right, with them. If you really think that you want to be the friend of a CEO, what do you think their interest is, right? Where do you think you can find them? How do you expose yourself to them? And maybe they're also trying to check who you are. So over time, as you continue to do that, you realize that a very good opportunity would open itself up and bam, you're friends. But if you think it's going to happen on the same day, it won't. And sometimes to your confidence, people walk up to you and say, hi, Joyce, how are you? And then you start chatting. Confidence also comes in when you know more about people, when you know more about me and about my interests, when you meet me. Like, I love books, and I tell you, one of the ways that you can easily get me, even if we don't know each other, is by speaking about books. Once you mention a book or a travel area or nature, oh my God, the conversation has opened and we'll discuss everything. I think I may even give you some of my secrets. But if you don't know me or you don't know things that I love and you just walk up to me and you want to be my friend, it would really be a challenge. So sometimes we should also do the introspection and ask ourselves why. And I think that we should never forget the intentionality. If you know the reason why you want something, no matter what obstacle is in your way, you will surely find a way around it, right? And don't be quick to point fingers at someone because you should check with yourself. I wanted to ask that one of the ways by which we can also network is our colleagues. And I think we forget about this thing a lot. Your colleagues are very good contact and very good networks you can have. Never leave a company, even if you have been handled badly. Never leave a company on a sour note. Your colleagues become those ambassadors that would speak on your behalf everywhere because they know you, which is why in some companies, when you're going for a new employment, they will ask for recommendations, right? And testimonials. Your colleagues are key. And then your customers. Some of us, we have very bad customer service. Your customers are contacts that you can keep. I have kept customers that we just saved, and today they have become good network. So be mindful of that. And I love what Elvis said about your phone book. Go back to your phone book. Check the people in your phone book. You may have thousands of numbers. These people, when was the last time you even said a hello or hi or happy new year to them? So there are people that when they call me today, I know they need something from me because I haven't heard from them in 5 years. You get it. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Odelia, how can one manage expectations in the networking journey?
So even in your classroom, when you were in SS or JSS, it wasn't everybody within that space that was your friend. So have at the back of your mind that you may be looking for people who just don't have the interest you want to express, and they are simply not interested. And some will automatically feel that you haven't really come up to their level, and so for them, they will just not connect with you. Find exactly what these people. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you, Odelia.
Okay. Find exactly what the interests are from these people. When I spoke earlier, I said that for example, I have observed that a lot of people within the C-suite space, that's chief executives, are not very good at managing their social media pages. So if you're chatting with people on LinkedIn, somebody may not have responded to their LinkedIn in like 3 months, 2 months, and it's just because they don't have the time. Identify what people's pain points are and help them to solve it. Now, you also observe that even within your own organization, if the CEO is not your friend, but you may know somebody within your space or even amongst your colleagues who has a very good relationship with your CEO. Find out from them exactly what do they like, how do they get the opportunity to even connect with the CEO so that you can also do the same thing. I spoke about how your networks from your boss to other bosses within your organization can be like great people who can recommend you for people. So connect with other bosses. It doesn't mean that you belong to the business department, and so for you, it is just about you and your business team. You need to be able to go to other departments and be able to connect with other people. Some of the people who can actually connect with even the CEOs that we don't actually, sometimes because we feel we are educated, we don't respect our drivers, our cleaners, our people who, for example, sit at the reception. maybe because of your position or because of how learned you are, sometimes you may take these people for granted. But it will surprise you that they may even have access to the CEO more than you have by virtue of where they sit. Connect with such people. And then I'll say that one of the key things that people should also have is the issue of listening and, of course, being humble. Now, good listeners can pick one or two things from even these CEOs, and they can latch on it to have a good conversation with a CEO if they meet them. Like Joyce has said, Joyce is interested in books, and of course, Joyce shared some books with me in the past. You need to actually work it, because like it is actually something that can change your life. It's a life-changing thing. So find out, what does this person like, and how can I connect to what they really like as the basis and as the starting point.
All right. Thank you very much, Odelia. Elvis, is it all right to directly request for endorsements for your LinkedIn skills?
Oh, yes, 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 yes. So it's something I've actually done myself, right? So, but it is how you put it, right? It's how you
Yeah.
put it. You have to put it. You know, there's one thing people don't like when you come to their DMs on LinkedIn. Hello, hi. They don't go straight to the point, right? You write it,
Yeah.
and so in the first place, you would have established contact with the person first,
Mm.
right? You engage with the person, post, or even someone you know, someone of a high reputable position that you know in person that you've connected on LinkedIn, right? You want that person to endorse you. So let me see. There was one that I sent to someone to let me see. So this is what I sent to the person. Hello. Uh, I mentioned the person's name. I hope the person is doing well. I'm currently updating my LinkedIn to reflect the skills that I have, right? And I wanted to reach out to you to please endorse me. Firstly, the person must have known your skills and your interest. That's why in the first place, as I said, in the networking game, let people know your strength, your skills, your values, so that it makes it easy for them to vouch for you. Because remember, someone recommending you means they are putting their reputation on the line, right? So if the person doesn't know you, so this person in question, I didn't find it easy. I just went ahead, wrote this message to the person. It didn't take long for the person to endorse it. You get me? So
Yeah.
it is right to always ask for someone to endorse, but it's the form and how you put that message. I can share example of what I sent to the person to do that. So it's very fine, but you don't just go to a stranger on LinkedIn and say, please endorse me when the person doesn't know you. No, you must have established some kind of online or physical presence with the person before you can go ahead and ask that.
Okay. Unfortunately, I've been notified that we just have 5 minutes left in our meeting. So I'll just Joyce, please just take this quick question so that we can take concluding statements in 30 seconds. In networking, how do you handle managers and directors who prefer sexual demands, mostly on ladies, in an attempt to ask questions or clarifications when you're attempting to seek clarification? And you come across
Yeah.
managers and directors, yes, while networking, who want to who prefer sexual demands. How do you address that in a minute?
Okay, I think first of all, yeah, you just have to avoid them. And then it also depends, excuse me, on your positioning. How do you position yourself such that somebody can just walk up to you and ask you for sexual favors? And I know that it is not easy, because it doesn't mean that anyone should sexually or ask for a favor sexually because of who you are, but it is where we are. Ensure that your personal branding does not call for that, but
Okay.
top of it, avoid them totally. There are 8 billion human beings on earth. Please don't allow 5 people.
Oh, Joyce's network. All right. Just as in wrapping up, okay, I can see a hand up. I can see a hand up. Okay, Isaac, kindly go ahead and ask your question. Hello, Isaac. Kindly go ahead and ask your question. Okay, I think Isaac is not. Hello, Isaac, are you there? All right, Joyce. Your network went bad, so we didn't get the concluding part of the question you were answering.
Oh, no, I just said avoid people because there are 8 million human beings on earth. Don't allow 1 or 2 people to distract you. Remember, there are 8 billion.
All right. All right. Okay. Isaac, are you ready with your question? Hello, Isaac. All right. So in unfortunately, I'm having so much fun. I'm trying to tell Nat to extend the time, but she says no. We our time is up, and so we need to wrap up. Hello, Sefa. I see Sefa's hand up. Sefa, do you have a question?
I do, if I may be permitted to
Yes.
ask my
Please
question.
go ahead and ask.
Okay, hello. I wanted to know if you wanted to open communication with an older gentleman who was not, who you didn't necessarily have anything in common with or have anything to talk about, or he wasn't your boss, he didn't work for your company, but you just have admiration for him. But then he's not necessarily, because being 25, most of my friends are within my age group. So, but I'm wondering if I wanted to become friends with somebody who was 50 and I didn't even know how he could help me. I just wanted to become friends because I like his character. I like his demeanor. How would you advise I approach the situation?
Okay, Elvis, would you take that?
Yeah, so let me put it this way. Let me share personal experience. If you meet someone above you that you want to connect with, you just say hello. Say I like your this. Then that is all. Okay, thank you. It ends there, right? But
Yeah.
if I someone he's written a book that I have read before, or it may be someone it may not be a book in this. Maybe it's you've seen him on telly say something that you've heard that you resonate with, or something educative that you heard. So you see, that's why I said first of all you should be intentional about it. You know that you may be seeing this person at this place. So I bought a book and I read about it. There's something that I picked. I said, yeah, hello, I'm this. I like your work. I like this. There's this particular thing that I read about this book that then the conversation ensued from there, right? We were able to carry on the conversation. But assuming I just approach him and say, hello, I like your work, then it ends over there. Then he moves on. I also move away. But there should be a precursor. There should be something to bring up to generate a conversation for the two of you, right? So that would be my response. So if you know this is the person you want to speak to, be strategic about it. Find something that can generate a conversation for the two of you that is of interest to him, and imagine how happy he will be for me commending a book that is written I've bought and I've commented on. You get me? So that would be my response to that question.
All right, thank you. Now, please, would need a second session for this as well. So if we can have a second session another time, then today will be part one. Today will be part one. I'm just beginning to enjoy it. Everybody is enjoying it, but we don't have. Our time is limited. Our time is limited. Building your network. Concluding statements, Odelia.
Find out which um, find out exactly your direction as an individual and begin to map out who are within that space that you like to connect with. Let's say you want to be a marketing manager for Guinness Ghana in the next 5 years. Exactly who is within that space? How do I get to those people? And where can those people be found? Which associations do they belong to? which groups are they part of that I can be part of? On digital, find out exactly the messaging I'm putting out there. Is it attracting the kinds of people that I need to attract as part of that's my 5-year strategic plan? If not, then begin to tweak your messaging to be able to attract these kinds of people. And you can always check from the analytics exactly who is watching, viewing, reading the content you're putting out there, and how you can work upon that to be able to attract the right kinds of people. And then finally, still on digital, when you come on LinkedIn, LinkedIn is not for a girlfriend matter. LinkedIn is not for just socialization. LinkedIn is purely professional. It is a major put off for everyone who is very serious. For you to come on LinkedIn and say, oh, please, how are you? No. So, like Elvis said, check the professionalism of the language in breaking the ice. The person made a post about a day ago. You like the post, go and like it, comment, and then you can send them a message. And you can say, oh, I sent you something in PM. Can you check your private message? Can you check? You can put it even in on their normal page, and then they can connect from the back. And so set your goals and map out who really is within that you can. Check your own personal networks. And I love what Elvis has sent all of us. I am going to actually use it as well, so that you can strategize within your own contacts exactly what or who can you connect with that can send you to your promised land. I think that's what I would like to conclude with.
All right, thank you. Elvis, in wrapping up,
Hello.
concluding
Yeah,
statements.
please. Yeah, and in wrapping up, this is what I'll say. This networking game, we have to realize that it's a skill that is learnable. So if you want to have a community where you can reach out to and have rich perspectives and have them offer you help when you need it, and you also offer them help, make sure you learn it, be intentional about it, right? And I'll also say this, try. They say what your network is is
Your
is your
network.
wealth. So
Yeah.
that would be my concluding.
All right. All right, Joyce, concluding.
All right. Okay, then. So thank you. And as Odelia and Elvis mentioned, so you have to care, really care about the people that you want to connect with, and also care about something, and care about something that is related to the people that you want to connect with. Then the next one is that you have to contribute towards something in their lives. Contribute. Find what they love and contribute to it by volunteering, by supporting them, by sharing, by letting people know about them as well. And then the last one will be that you have to compliment. You have to compliment, and compliment simply means praising people. You know, a gentleman who asked the question about there's an older person that you want to connect with. Maybe you could just say, that's a beautiful shirt, or white looks good on you, green looks good on you. That is a compliment. Praise people when they do something. So my concluding is just 3 C's. You have to care, you have to contribute, and then the last one, you have to compliment. Thank you, Eunice. Good job.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I've really enjoyed myself so much. I've really enjoyed myself. I think we need to have a second session for on this particular topic. I want to thank my panelists for taking time out of your busy schedules. Today being a holiday, you having various activities. You took time of your schedules to join us and discuss this topic with us. And to my audience as well, thank you very much. Your data, your time being here. I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot from it. And so we'll take a picture. We'll have a picture. We'll take a picture for all of us. Now help us with that. But before we take the picture, since we are discussing networking, I'd like all of us on this session to introduce ourselves briefly as part of the networking. Networking starts now. So we are starting from here, networking with each other. So if you don't mind, and you can turn on your camera, or you can turn on your audio when it gets to your turn. You tell us your name and probably where you work, or just your name or whatever you want to add to it. So I'll start with myself. My name is Eunice Narteh. I'm an HR manager and I work with one of the oil marketing companies in Accra. Okay. Sefa, would you like to tell us about yourself?
Gladly. I'm Samuel Sefa. I am a marketing student at University of Ghana. I'm my final year. I'm just starting my final year. So I'm happy to learn. I had a question though. I was hoping to. I wanted to know, how often do you contact someone you connected with?
Okay, so that you don't sound like you're pestering the person or you don't lose touch with the person. Would any of my panelists like to take this?
I don't want to be too much and too
little. Yeah. Joyce, would you like to take this? Joyce, please unmute yourself.
Yes, really, you know, we should target networking just as we want us to be network. How will you feel if all the time someone asks you, hello, hi, may I? Hello, hi, may I? Hello, hi, may I? That's seriously not advisable. So pace it out, right? And if you've sent somebody a question really and they haven't answered, find another way. If you have said hello, hi, my name is blah 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 blah, and they haven't gotten back to you, why don't you continually share a post that they have on LinkedIn, right, or on Facebook, or posting something about them instead of using the same strategy. Please, when you are networking, put yourself as the person who is being asked to do this, and I think it will be easier on you. And as I said, there are 80 billion human beings. Please, you don't necessarily have to be my friend alone. There will be several people who have my traits, who are in even better positions than I am. If you're contacting someone for a long time and you're not getting it, please move on to the next person. Don't be too hard on yourself. There are 8 billion more people on earth.
All right. Because of our limited time, I'll just probably take names so that at least we know each other's names and we can follow each other on LinkedIn. Ikuya, please tell us your full name, please. AO.
Hi, my name is Owusu.
Okay. Thanks for joining us today. Adi Abeku, your full name, please.
Please, my name is Abib Kudazi.
Okay. All right. Bridget, I see BB. Hello, Bridget.
Hi, my name is Bridget. Hi.
Please go ahead.
Hello?
Please go ahead.
Okay, I'm Bridget Tinkwama Boatin.
Okay. Thanks for joining us today. Caleb, I can see Caleb here.
Hello.
Hi.
Sorry, I was away. Sorry. Oh, I'm back. Sorry. Hi, Eunice. It's a pleasure, and it's been a great learning time too.
It has. Your full name, please.
I'm Caleb Selassie Sam.
Caleb Selassie Sam. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Thanks for joining us. Hi, Derek.
Hi, Eunice.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm Derek Prince Honu. Yeah.
Okay.
I really enjoy this.
Same here. It was a pleasure having you. Hi, Echo. Your full name, please.
Echo Mensa.
Okay. Thank you, Echo. Emafa. Okay. Anyone else would like to introduce himself or herself? It seems some people are not close to their devices. Eunice.
Hi, Eunice.
Hi.
Thank you. I'm Eunice Narteh. I've enjoyed myself as well. You were good. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Hi, Sedem. I see your hand up.
Hi, my name is Sedem Atebu.
Yeah.
Country Supply Chain Manager for Volta Ghana Limited.
Okay, nice having you here today. Nadia.
Hi.
Hi.
Please, I'm Nadia Angelawuni.
Okay. All right. Thank you for joining us today. Anyone else? Oh, I see people leaving already. So now please take the group picture before everyone disappears. Now, if you can kindly assist us with the group picture.
Take that as well.
Hi. If you can kindly turn on your cameras just for the group picture. I'm ready to pose, so please turn on your cameras so we can take the picture. Now we are ready when you are.
I've taken 17 already, so I can take 20 more.
Now you didn't tell me to pose.
Okay, pose.
Okay, now I can pose.
Good. Okay, great.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for taking time off to join us today. The recording of the session will be on LinkedIn.
Wow.
The recording of the session will be on LinkedIn, so will be on YouTube. We'll post it. We'll send the link out so that you can go back and then listen to the session again. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. Bye.
Thank
you.
Eunice.
Hi, Janet. I just saw someone. I'm so proud to join. Janet. Wow. I'm so proud of you. You're great. Hi, Sadam. You did a good job. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. Odelia. Nice meeting you
Oh.
again.
Thank you, Odelia. Thank you, Elvis.
Yep.
Joyce Sackitey. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you so much,
Janet,
Elvis.
I'm so proud of you. I'm going to buy you something, Janet.
Bye. Really? Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye, Eunice.
Bye. Thank you.